sir. Hello students. So in the previous lecture we were studying about cell and we were in the continuation of the lecture cell, and before going into today's topic I want to revise what we have learned till now. We learned about cell, we talked about cell as the smallest unit for life, then we talked about who discovered cell. It was Robert Hooke, and he observed it with a simple microscope. He observed a wooden cork, he observed a honeycomb like structure. Then we talked about how this organization is like cell joined together form tissues and tissues joined together form organ, and then there is a complete organ system. Then we talked about definition of cell. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And in the next class we were talking about cell theory. We talked about three statements of the cell theory: that all living organisms are made up of one or more cells. We talked about cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life, and then that all new cell arises from pre-existing cell. In that series we talked about history of cell theory, that how we concluded with all these three statements. It was with the discovery of Robert Hooke, who saw cells as small box-like compartment by observing a slice of cork under a microscope. Then we talked about Matthäus Sheldon, who studied cell and concluded that plants are made of cell. Then Theodore Schwann, who studied animals and concluded that all animals are made of cell. Then we talked about Rudolf Virchow, who proposed that omnis cellula e cellula, meaning that all cells come from pre-existing cell. Right, and then we talked about how living organisms are made of cell, and every living thing from tiny bacteria to huge trees and humans are made of cells. And we looked for some examples like bacterium, which is made of one cell, amoeba, which is made up of one cell, and then human body made up of trillion cells. And then we classified them as unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. So unicellular organism, we said that unicellular organism made of only one type of cell. We said that a single cell perform all life functions, and they are usually simple. They have a simple body organization, and they are visible using microscope. Then we talked about multicellular organisms, that organism made of more than one type of cell, and how there is different cell performing different function, like division of labor we can see, and there's organization cell to tissues and tissues to organ, and then organ system. So now in today's class we will be talking about plant and animal cell. Now it is clear that if we are talking about plant and animal cell, then they come under the category of multicellular organism. So plant, now we'll see what is the difference in plant cell and animal cell. So here we have a diagram of the plant cell, and we'll see how a plant cell look. So in plant cell we have cell wall. The cell wall here has its own function. So plant cell have a cell wall, and beneath the cell wall there is a cell membrane. And the thing to remember here is that the cell wall is necessary in plant cell because the cell will provide rigidity and shape to the plant. It protects the plant. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, and there beneath we have cell membrane. Then we have the nucleus, which is like the brain of the cell. All the like how our brain command us to do or give command to the body organs to perform function. Similarly, the nucleus is referred to as the brain of the cell. Around the nucleus we have this endoplasmic reticulum, and then we have mitochondria. We have a large vacuole inside it, and we have chloroplast, its green like substance. We have Golgi apparatus. These are the some organelles. These are referred to as the organelles of the plant cell. These like small organs within the plant cell are referred to as organelles, and the fluid, this yellow fluid in which all these organelles are present, is referred to as cytoplasm. Okay, now we'll see the function of these plant cells. I said that the cell wall gives shape, support, and protection to the cell. Similarly, there is cell membrane that control the movement of substance in and out of the cell membrane. So cell membrane is like a filter. It will allow what substance can enter the cell and what substance can leave the cell. So cell membrane here is like a guard. It's like a something that will check before leaving something leave the cell and something enters the cell. So cell membrane controls the movement of substance in and out of the cell. Then we have cytoplasm. It is like the jelly-like substance in which the cellular activities occur. This yellow thing is here the cytoplasm, in which all these organelles are swimming. Okay, this cytoplasm is the jelly-like structure where cell activities occur. Then nucleus. Nucleus like control all activities of the cell and contain genetic material. What is genetic material? Genetic material is the material responsible that we get from our parents. It's like the thing which will decide how the cell will be and how we will be. So we'll talk about this in higher classes. We read about this in any other lecture. We'll talk about this in any other lecture. We'll see what is this genetic material. And then we have chloroplast. Here, this green color organelle is chloroplast. We know that plant perform photosynthesis. So in the chloroplast there is chlorophyll, which is responsible for forming photosynthesis. Then we have vacuole. In plant cell, the vacuole are large because they store food and water, and also waste that produced is stored inside the vacuoles, and they also help in maintaining and giving cell rigidity. Mitochondria is like the powerhouse of the cell and will provide energy to perform all the functions. It will provide the energy. Then we have the endoplasmic reticulum that help in the transport of material. Whatever the things or the things that are being produced inside the cell are transported through the mitochondria. Golgi apparatus is like post office where packing happens, and it is like the transporting medium. The transporter, it is like the shipping department, and it is like the department where the packing take place. And then we have this ribosome, small dot like structures we see, right? These are ribosomes. So what is the function of ribosome? Ribosome synthesize protein. So how it functions? Ribosome will synthesize the protein, Golgi apparatus will pack them, and who will transport them? It is the endoplasmic reticulum. And where does the energy come for all this? It comes from the mitochondria. So see, every organelle within the cell have their function, right? So we saw this. And then there are special features of the plant cells. For example, I said that plant cell have three structures that are not present in the animal cell. First is the cell wall itself. So I said this, a cell wall is made of cellulose. So this provides strength and protection to the cell and give a fixed shape to the cell. And what is the important thing to note here? That this cell wall is not present in the animal cell. So cell wall is only present in the plant cell. And then there is chloroplast. We say that plants only perform photosynthesis, so it is obvious that if it contains chlorophyll, it will only be present in plants. So it helps in preparing food through photosynthesis. So plant perform photosynthesis, and therefore there is presence of chloroplast, because obviously chloroplast contain chlorophyll, which is a green pigment that help in photosynthesis. So obviously chloroplast will be present only in plants. And then we have large central vacuoles. So these vacuoles are small in animal cell, but they are very large, and we see that this is very large in the animal cell. So these vacuoles occupy the cell space, providing rigidity to the cell, will provide the rigidity or shape to the cell, store waste and nutrient, and keep the cell firm and upright. So these are the special features of the plant cell, and we see these three organelles like cell wall, chloroplast, and the last central vacuole are something that the animal cell doesn't possess. Animal cell possess vacuole, but they are not as large as that present in the plant cell. So these are some special features of plant cell. In the next class, we will be talking about animal cell. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring. Thank you.